think men do love it, but they show through their actions. They're not like out here, oh, let me change this. It's kind of more, okay, well, if this is how it is, I'm going to take actions to prevent putting myself in that position.
Of course, if you're going your own way and don't give an F about what other people think, you've probably run into more than a few folks who want to bring you down to their level. And yes, you have definitely run into ladies who have called you derogatory names for living your best life, even though you aren't infringing on their rights. I know it can be difficult to dismiss the naysayers, but when they realize they have no control over you, they will respect you even if they don't agree with all you say. That is to say, you can become unstoppable and immune to manipulation if you vehemently defend your position and don't give in to others' demands for endless concessions. That's a lofty level of freedom you, as a guy, need to achieve if you're going to make the most of your life. Just because some modern women talk a lot of nonsense about Mgtow doesn't mean you can't laugh at their ignorance and idiocy. It's fine to not know anything, but it's unbearable to act like you do and think you know all there is to know about everything. Let's assume that this is how the majority of the NPCs out there think, which leaves us with little choice but to maintain a healthy sense of humor.
I think that girls don't actually see it in the world. They just want to be victims. Like when we're on the street saying, oh, all these men are trying to grape me, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, is that her truth? Or is that really how the world is? Or I could walk down the street and be like, it's fine. And I could see a data point that is manipulated that says 1 out of 4 women were raped, right? You remember that one that was going around a couple of years ago? Even when that came out, I was like, no, that's off. Like, because what I see in the world, I don't think men are out there graping women like that.
Keep an eye out for this one because you're going to really enjoy it. Let's see what this naive and clueless modern woman has to say about Mgtow. Here's one comment I saw that clearly pictures how much they misunderstand Mgtow's foundational principles. The Mgtow movement is a promising idea utterly corrupted by bitterness and misogyny. It had so much potential to be something more nuanced than the second-wave liberal movements that inspired it. Let's see what these modern women have to say about Mgtow. The principles could be used by men to pursue life on their own terms and to defy the cultural narrative that is prevalent in society. Mgtow may be polyamorous, bisexual, gender non-conforming, childless, express a healthy variety of emotions, and establish relationships on their terms rather than adhering to the standards set by society. They may also choose not to have children. Okay, let's take it slow and relax because she lead a lot in those few paragraphs. If a man truly understands Mgtow, he will never be bitter or misogynistic. For various reasons, cheating, lying, poisonous environments, etc. Many guys have experienced relationships that sucked. As a result, it's only logical that many guys would rather avoid the dating pool altogether. Contrary to totalitarians and sectarians, Mgtows embrace the facts and don't dwell in the past, but rather use it as a tool for learning. So don't assume they are always making blanket statements. Mgtows are not misogynists. Rather, they recognize the superiority of women and act appropriately. They'd rather have an unbreakable body than be treated with contempt and disdain. I don't see why, as an Mgtow, I should settle for a lady who can just offer physical closeness. She may work like a pro, but if she can't hold a meaningful conversation, that's not much use. I don't think she'd make a good catch. I'd rather live independently as a single person. I don't buy into societal narratives, but I find this particular aspect of it interesting since the people who feel the most anti-system now are the people who are the most pro-system overall. They say they want more freedom, but they hand it over to the government. They say they have diverse ideas, but they do what the media and the government tell them to do. They believe all of that, despite the fact that they believe they have an opinion of their own, even if the prevalent notion is that males are bad. This world is completely turned on its head. It has come to pass in the course of history that being straight is regarded as repressive, whilst being gay is regarded as cool. It is more acceptable to declare that you prefer men and women than it is to say that you like only women. When I was tutoring some teenagers in math and science in high school, they loved talking about how unique they are in terms of whom they liked. Children are actively pushed to engage in degenerate behavior by being exposed to a wide variety of media and situations. Many people wander through life in constant confusion because they have no idea who they are. What exactly does she mean when she talks about hegemonic masculinity? Exactly what does she mean when she says that men want to impose their values on women? Or does she actually think it's tragic that most leaders are men? A lot of Mgtows thought it was cool to be the one who follows in a relationship with a woman, but they were incorrect. They got the point, in other words. Some Mgtows, despite having had a string of great dates and maybe even a girlfriend or two, aren't interested in continuing to date for many reasons, including but not limited to mind games, low return on investment, or other goals. That's the decision we've made, and as frustrating as that may sound to modern women, that's that. Their predicament is that they expect us to adopt their worldview. They want access to your brains because, in truth, they are totalitarians who want to rewrite the rules of your consciousness. They plan to infiltrate classrooms in an effort to weaken male students. There is a clear anti-masculinity goal, and nothing they do is accidental. The section on the hierarchy of males according to their dominance in heterosexual relationships and their level of stoicism is particularly intriguing. Obviously, if you identify as Mgtow, you do so out of a desire for autonomy, rather than as a means to an end such as a label or a badge of pride. Instead, you want outcomes, not appearances, which is what many people search for. Finally, let's think about this. From what I've seen on TV and in the movies, violence against men is condoned, whereas violence against women and children is virtually never tolerated. In fact, men are more likely to be mistreated severely than even strays like dogs. So, here is the crux of our today's film. Being Mgtow and being independent and self-reliant will get you a lot of difficulties since the society and government don't want you to be powerful and dominating. Learn the value of independence and use these strategies in your life to make it more fulfilling. We hope you enjoyed today's movie and encourage you to continue taking the red pill and showing it to your male friends till we see you again tomorrow.